Good morning and welcome back to yet another video. So today I'm currently in Loughrig, which is one of my favourite spots in the Lake District. Now what I plan to tell you today is 3 tips that I have learned as a photographer over the years that's helped me improve my landscape photography. But before we start getting into the tips, let me just showcase some of the scenery that's around me. Now this is coming from the perspective of an amateur photographer, so I do not do this professionally, but regardless, these tips have helped me get out there, get better photos, and hopefully have some good portfolio work too. So some of that drone footage that you have seen has been recycled from an old video because my drone's broken. But let's get into tip number 1. So my biggest tip for anyone out there is to take your camera gear to work, because I've captured some of the most beautiful scenery en route to work, and I'll show some of the images just here now too. And what I've managed to do is take my camera bag to work with all my gear and set off earlier to work. So a prime goods time for this is probably around Easter, towards the end of summer, where the sunrise is late enough in the morning but it's not too early too, so you can still get a good hour or two before you go to work, get out with your camera, and then you can just head straight back to work. So let's jump straight into tip number 2. Now this kind of aligns with the first tip as well, and the key tip is for this one is to just basically not take as many photos. Now I've had many days where I've been trigger happy, I've got back to the computer and I've literally got hundreds of photos of pretty much the exact same composition. Now it depends on what you're doing, so if you're capturing a storm or something that's happening very quick and you need those photos to then get that very split-second moment, then fair enough. But if you're just out in the landscapes and you just want to get a nice sunrise and things aren't happening too dramatically, the key is just to take less photos, because the work you have to put in afterwards, it doesn't really motivate you to then want to edit all of these photos. So just be very focused on what you want to take pictures of. And the more you get out there as well and do these photos, the more you're going to be keyed into the settings that you do need. So I'm not going to go into any settings or anything you need to take photos, because I'm pretty sure that you'll know how to do that already. So just make sure you got your settings dialed in correctly, you know exactly what you're looking for, get those photos, and then just leave. And then it's much easier when you get back to the computer. Number 3, this is very key for people who really lack motivation, and I do sometimes too. I'll have months where I won't be taking any photos because I really can't be bothered, because the weather's just being rubbish, or I'm just piled up with work, or there's things going on in your life where you just don't have time, and eventually that catches up with you. So a tip for anyone who wants to take more photos, a really important one is to set yourself a challenge. Now I recently did a 28-day photo challenge where I went to work, or even on my days off, and every single day for 28 days I made a photo. I made some reels or some YouTube shorts, or whatever you want to call them, but I have them in my Instagram as well, and you can look at them too. And on those days, every day I got up for either sunrise, sunset, it was the middle of the day, it probably wasn't the best weather even, but I took a photo regardless, and that actually helped me to get some really nice photos. And I'll ping some of the photos just on here too, of some of what I consider some of my best photos. So do set yourself a challenge. It doesn't have to be 28 days, it could be 7 days, it could be a black and white photo challenge, could be whatever you relate your photography to, it could be sports or anything. Set yourself a challenge and you will be surprised at the results that you have. So considering I've said all of these tips, I'm at sunrise, I'm at Loughrig, and the weather's not really kicking off, but I've come out regardless. But whilst I'm here, I might as well just give you a really quick bonus tip as well. Now this is key for anyone who's wants to upgrade their gear. I started out with a Canon 6D, still a good camera, you can get really cheap lenses for it too, and it does the job exactly the same as my Sony A7R3. Now the key is to, when you're upgrading, which I didn't really realise until I did, is the investment you've got to make in your computer software, because the data from the memory card is much bigger than any previous old DSLRs. You've got to invest in higher quality memory cards for the bursts of shots that you want to take, so the buffer doesn't run out. You've got to get more batteries. The lenses are more expensive when you get to mirrorless cameras. So consider those if you're ever considering upgrading, because I know it's just been Christmas, you may have some spare cash running around, and you want to just upgrade your gear, upgrade your camera. So just consider those little things there, and hopefully that will focus you on where you want to go with your photography. So that's it for me today. So thank you very much for watching. If you do enjoy these types of videos, let me know, because I can always make more tips and tricks videos if that's relevant to you. And I don't make videos like these every week. I just don't have time because I'm at uni, I'm working, I'm doing other things. So if you do enjoy the content, then of course do consider subscribing and liking the video. And as I say, I don't make these every week, so you may just see a notification come up in about a month's time with another video. So apart from that, hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.